order to set yourself up for rainbow cakes, I'm going to go ahead and set aside all of the baking pans that I'm going to need. And I put some liners into cupcake pans, and I even have some of the smaller cupcakes for these shot size, very small cupcakes. And then 6 glasses, because we're going to separate the batter and make the different colors out of it. And you really only need 3 varieties of the color, which would be the red with no taste, yellow, and blue. And you can make all of the colors of the rainbow with those primary colors. And then just a vanilla white cake mix. And I don't know that you can see, I've got my mix ready, and all of the little black flakes are because I put vanilla beans in my cake mix, so I already tasted it and it's pretty good. And we'll move on to the next step. Next step is to color each of the individual cups with the dye that you've put in. Got the colors mixed up. Now they don't have to be exact colors, but they do have to distinguish themselves from the color next to them. So just be careful that your hues aren't too close. And that's why it's more important to use the colored gels rather than those liquid gels, because you don't want to water down your batter too much. Now I take all of my batter out of the mixing cups and I put them in pastry bags, which are these small disposables, which are probably one of the best purchases I ever made. And they're quite affordable, so I would actually suggest that you purchase some. There's 2 in every one. And if you don't use a pastry bag, then you can also use a Ziploc bag or any sort of resealable plastic bag. I've had success with all of them. But it's easier for me to get precision cupcake mix with the bags versus just using the spoon. If you're looking for an easy way to fill the pastry bag with just one hand, you can just stuff it inside of a drinking glass and roll the top, and then it'll be obviously a lot easier to fill. I do this with my buttercreams and anything else that I need to put into the bags. When it's time to put the colors in, you go ahead and do them one at a time. I tend to do the darker colors in the bottom just because they're a little bit unappetizing, because at the top you can see, I think people are just more used to biting into something red, not necessarily something blue or purple. So just hit it one at a time. Remember not to fill your cupcake too high, because they expand when they're cooking and you'll have a rainbow mess in your oven. So a little bit goes a long way in the color layers here. As you can see, a little bit labor intensive, but if you plan ahead, not that difficult. Once you're done filling them, go ahead and put it in your preheated oven and bake as you usually would. The cupcakes are finished, so I have a little bit extra batter, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a couple of fun shapes. I'm going to use these small tins and make a very small tiered cake, and then I'll use this one too. Just a little bit of fun. I'm about to put the smaller ones into the oven. I've made a vanilla buttercream for the top of these cupcakes. I'm going to let the fact that they're rainbow cupcakes be a surprise. So I'm just going with white. And I filled a bag already with some of the buttercream, and I'm just going to use a star tip go over here and we're going to frost some of the cupcakes. These are the tiny miniature ones. Here is the sea of rainbow cupcakes, frosted and ready for distribution. It's cupcake time! These are good.